You unlock this door with the key of testosterone replacement therapy before 40. Beyond it is another dimension. A dimension of clout. A dimension of money. A dimension of grandma's clothing and or tank tops and no other option apparently ever. You're moving into a land of both gains and overstocked designer merch. Of things and ideas, you've just crossed over into the bone zone. Since the guy we're talking about today is a little bit of a sex icon, I'm gonna have to ask that if you don't have a body count of at least 1,000, maybe 2,000, that you just leave the video now. Unless, of course, you have clout, in which case, dude, I wasn't talking to you. We're homies. We'll do a collab. Piker? Well, I hardly know. Now, you might be thinking, well, obviously, he brought up sex icon because Hasan Piker's so sexy, hot, sexy, smoking, steaming, hot, round, muscular, hot. There is a more nefarious reason to bring it up. Hasan Piker said he went to a brothel, igniting sex work debate by Samantha Cole. In the article, he's quoted as saying, "I've had sex with not even escorts. I've gone to a brothel, Artemis, in Berlin, and had sex with the workers there. There's just one problem. Artemis, the brothel, was raided by police, which has said that the brothel constituted a brutal and illegal system that severely exploited dependent women." How does Hasan respond to this?
Like, literally, a brothel that I fucking went to in 2010 got raided for tax evasion in 2016. And this motherfucker is making it seem like there's, like, little children being there.
He sums it up as the brothel was avoiding taxes. It was a tax evasion raid. Just one problem. On April 14, 2016, Artemis was raided by 900 police and customs officers investigating human trafficking and tax evasion. The police had obtained information that the members of the Hells Angels forced some women to work in Artemis. Uh-oh. One of these women had talked to the police about her abusive pimp. So Hasan didn't lie. He used the framing effect as not to lose or hemorrhage his audience that might have otherwise been disgusted by what he was doing.
An acceptable target to attack.
Heard him, lads. He says he's an acceptable target. Get him.
And not the workers themselves.
So he just explains it away. It's not even that any criticism of him is justified or that there might be some concern here. It's just that people want to hate, and since the workers themselves are not justifiably hateable, well, we can just hate on Hasan. Let me think about that for a sec. No, doesn't make sense. I think you panicked because you're live in front of 20,000 people and you have to spin this in such a way that makes you look good. Unfortunately, you're captured by what they think, and that means they have to like you. I want to make something really clear. I'm not saying that Hasan knew. I'm not saying he did anything wrong, even. I won't even go that far. I'm not making a moral or ethical judgment at all. I'm simply saying we have all of the actual, on-the-ground, in real-life information. So we know actually that there were concerns about trafficking here. Hey, I was just editing, and I was increasingly more and more concerned that maybe there was no trafficking, and I was just kind of making it seem like there was. So I pulled up the trafficking report from 2018 with respect to Germany. This is from state.gov reports. Okay, we go down here. We find that in 2017, court sentenced 4 traffickers to 7 years imprisonment. One of those people was involved in the highly publicized Artemis brothel case. 4 traffickers were sentenced to 7 years prison. So I can prove that at least one was trafficking with respect to Artemis. So what that means is people reporting that and talking about the fact that there was trafficking and abuse going on there was founded. It was well-founded in reality. I kind of find it interesting that you would represent that as a tax evasion thing. Just kind of a little Fox Newsy of you. You know what I mean? And we also have his response, which is basically that, well, you know, it was a tax evasion thing. Right. The problem's not that you went. The problem really doesn't even have to do with the brothel at all. I completely understand not wanting to associate yourself with this. I get it. And so withholding information that, in my opinion, is vital information is what I mean by misrepresenting. You're not lying. You're just not giving a clear picture either. Representing things differently than they actually occurred. There was a trafficking concern. But let's be honest for a second. The only traffic we're concerned with is more traffic to the Instagram feed, baby. God damn. Well, Pokemon trainers, this is where the oatmeal thickens. Because if you'll notice, I'm not making any judgment. I'm simply noticing when something happens and it doesn't look good, Hasan is not able to confront it. He has to. I mean, yes, tax evasion was part of the thing. You were like 98% of the way there. You just kind of forgot, like, kind of the most important part, actually. I'm not even saying this is something about himself that he should fix. I'm simply saying it's something he does. What he does with that information is up to him. But you obfuscate to avoid the truth. And by the way, this is not the only time that you've done it. Source? Well, how about this one?
Thank you to Miley Cyrus for showing off her camel toe at the VMAs the other night. I always knew Hannah Montana was a little slut. Don't even try to hide it. Look, this is a classic example of what happens when your father doesn't pay attention to you. You turn out to be a slut who's craving for attention, and then I tend to pick you.
Wait, this is supposed to be in my spank bank. Sorry, this one. The little crash out he had on Discord when he tried an in real life stream, an IRL stream.
I'm live streaming. I'm the most famous guy on the internet right now.
Which he obviously wants to do very desperately. But not as many people show up. Only 13,000 live viewers watch, like in gaming at 8 p.m. Aw, poor baby. Only 13,000 people were watching and giving him money. Now, it could be that your community is becoming something else. Or maybe it's just that to do a new kind of content like IRL streaming, you need to do it more than a couple of times to develop the kind of audience that likes to watch that kind of content. Maybe it's that your stream was just kind of boring. And of course, the conclusion of all this, because it's my community that's changing and there's nothing I can do about it or have any influence over, I'm just going to kill myself. Or how about when XQC rated you a B-tier streamer because not everyone wants to watch you watch other people's YouTube videos and surf the internet on your phone? That's just not our idea of a good stream, which is a perfectly fine and valid opinion to have. If anyone points out something to you about your, so down the list of excuses. Oh, you're taking that out of context. Oh, he's jealous. Oh, they are a Republican and therefore politically motivated. But Hasan is a good dude. No one would give designer merchandise to homeless people.
We'll have to work on that.
I feel bad I didn't get you pants. You want this jacket?
You've given me enough already.
No. Here you go.
Oh, that is so generous.
Unless they had a good heart. And I've never met an evil Turkish guy. Frankly, rumor has it, I talked to Little old Santa Claus, and Hasan's been on the nice list quite a few years in a row now. I would simply suggest that if you bring up the brothel thing again, maybe don't call it like the tax evasion thing, because that's just, it's true, but it's just kind of like, it's actually kind of the only part that almost no one would care about. Like if you told them the whole story and the trafficking and like that, you're kind of leaving out like the most important part, and that just seems a little bit shady because it happens to be something that would make you look bad. So now I'm left wondering if you resort to dishonesty when you think honesty would make you look bad, which just does not report on your character very well. So maybe just try doing that. Getting rated for tax evasion, because that's, you know, that's true, but it's just not true. It's just not too. You know, I feel very strongly that drama YouTube has just become like quote farming, and then you like show a clip of someone saying something that sounds crazy and then just trying to savage them. It's not what I'm trying to do here at all. Yeah, Hasan said America deserved 9/11 or whatever.
America deserved 9/11.
Streaming is harder than a real job.
A real job can be gruesome, but a real job doesn't suck the soul out of you.
Whatever. I'm not exactly interested in living in a world where everything I've ever said throughout my entire life, if it doesn't serve his purpose, he will obfuscate 1%, 10%, 30%, 100%, as much as he needs to turn it into a good thing for him. One final thing before I go, and I recorded a little Pirates of the Caribbean online footage for you, so that the TikTok brain doesn't take over too quickly. Hey, Hasan, over here, dude. Hello? So just to recap, first, let's maybe not refer to the brothel thing as a tax evasion problem. Maybe instead, say tax evasion and problem. Also, you don't have to bring it up all the time, but like in this clip, if it's being discussed.
Jesus Christ, dude. Like literally.
And second, please wear a maid outfit.
Yes, I did. Yes, I shot that one. Yeah, of course, it's a long time.